Hey guys, it's me again, Keith Custer. Just sitting here thinking about an article that I was reading a little bit ago about the widespread crisis mode that our nonprofit sector is in right now. As most all of us know by now, the majority of all the nonprofits bank on some sort of a spring gala, fundraiser, golf tournament, 5K. They're usually some big spring events, and a lot of times those are what dictate the activity that the nonprofits can do for the rest of the year. Obviously, COVID-19 hit just as soon as the weather was starting to break, and probably more than 90% of these nonprofits had to shut down their fundraisers. The remaining 10% put together some sort of an online version or a digital version of their fundraisers, and they reported some pretty lackluster numbers. So basically, the situation that we're looking at is nonprofits have not only had their financial resources restricted by more than half, but their demand, their clientele, the people needing their services are reaching record level heights. Now, many of the nonprofits had reserve funds that they could use to kind of get them through a month or two of low donations. But what a lot of people don't understand is there's restrictions on donations. Charities can't just take your money and go use it however they see fit. There's a lot of written restrictions saying this money is going to be used for a scholarship or this money is going to be used for some sort of an outreach. And these charities may not legally be able to pay their rent or their lights or their payroll and a lot of other things with that money. Then on top of them wanting to go out and do their outreach, they've also been inflicted with an added expense of PPE, personal protective equipment. If these nonprofits want to go out and help people, they have to have masks, they have to have gloves, they have to follow a certain protocol, and that stuff costs money as well. So it's really led me to a realization that we are all going to have to look a new reality in the eye of what the world's going to be like if we lose a large percentage of our nonprofits. Did some of the research here in Kansas City alone. We're up to about 12,800 nonprofits. We've had a lot of new nonprofits just pop up recently to assist with COVID-19 efforts. Now, many of our nonprofits locally are deemed basically too big to fail. They are essentially branches of the government, so to speak, the ones that are handling massive amounts of assistance that even trickle down to smaller organizations. They're the ones that primarily operate on grants, and they will probably be okay. They have established themselves, some of them for over 100 years, and they're doing some amazing work. Many of their names we would all recognize. But the ones that I really am starting to have a little bit of trouble sleeping at night and really worried about is what about our people that are helping out with our suicide prevention? I had a friend lose his brother to suicide a little over a week ago, and I knew the guy since he was about 9 or 10 years old and would have never saw it coming. Had a phenomenal job, beautiful baby girl, beautiful woman in his life, and the stress of the current environment just got to be too much for him. How many other people are out there struggling with addiction or domestic abuse or sex trafficking? There's all sorts of agencies that are doing this type of work that don't necessarily get the publicity that they deserve. These are nightmares that many people are living in, that if they don't have that hotline, they don't have that counselor, they don't have that shelter to go and find 24 hours of reprieve to get away from somebody who is literally putting their life in jeopardy. What's that world going to look like? What can we do to make sure that isn't the reality that we have to face? I know that people are staring at their 401ks and losing 20, 30, 40% of what that balance used to read just a few short months ago. I know that many people's jobs have been furloughed or people have been completely cut. There's going to be a new normal. Some operations are going to realize that they can actually operate with a lower staff and a smaller storefront and maybe a few less hours on the staff that they do decide to keep. That's going to be something that obviously impacts people's ability to give. So what do? We do what we've always done. We get creative. Anytime a problem arises, an opportunity presents itself for us to solve that problem and to do life possibly even better than before. Guys, there's many ways that we can get involved with helping other people out. I want you to know about one way that doesn't impact your financial situation. You do not have to think that if I've got to give to charity, I've either got to give time or money or blood. Traditionally, that's how charity has kind of been formulated. You either write them a check, you donate your time, maybe you give them some blood, or maybe you buy something from a corporation that guarantees some of their proceeds go to help out that nonprofit. It's also a great way to do things. But guys, we live in a technological age. We have many other ways to get involved now. One way that I can't believe we have not embraced yet, but we will. I have faith. It's just a little new, and people are not always the biggest fans of new if it requires them to learn a little bit. But that's what I'm here for, is to show you a way that we can fix this problem with the resources that we've all got readily available. No matter what social class you're in, we've got beds that kids grow out of, clothes that kids grow out of, upgrades that we are then left with something that we need to purge. Kids are going off to college. Parents are downsizing to smaller houses, and they've got items that they need to get rid of. I don't know about you, but I know garage sale season was pretty popular with my mom and half the people in my neighborhood. It doesn't look like garage sale season is going to be happening this year on a physical level, face-to-face, belly-to-belly. That doesn't mean that people still don't have things that they want to get rid of. Why do I say all that? Because we can still get rid of these things. We can still go out and bargain shop, which I understand a lot of people have time on, and your online shopping budget has probably went up if you're blessed enough to still have a paycheck coming in. Probably spending a little bit more time shopping online. Well, what if we could combine the best of both worlds? Allow those bargain shoppers and allow those people that maybe need a blessing, need a good deal on something, and also allow and empower those nonprofits to get the exposure that they deserve. It'd be a good thing, right? Well, we can do this with the Ripple.net. People who are looking for a good deal on a lawnmower or a bedroom set or some yard games, you can find these things on the Ripple.net from somebody in the community that's selling them. You reach out to them, you say, hey, I saw your post. I need a new set of bags for the backyard. We're going to be having a barbecue next weekend, and I don't want to pay $100 for them. I'd be happy to pay $20, and I see that it's going to benefit this great cause that maybe helps out single mothers or a youth center or many of the other 19 participating charities that we've got on our site. I love that you decided to sell it this way. Can I meet you up at the grocery store parking lot? We can do a safe transaction there. You know, you can wear your mask, wear your gloves, you can bring a can of Lysol. This can be completely COVID compliant. It's a great way to get rid of these things. It's a great way to get a deal. That same scenario can be applied on a couch, on an old bicycle, a weight bench, and all sorts of other things that are probably keeping you from being able to park in your garage. You can solve that problem. You can purge your items a little more righteously. You can bless charities with not only the exposure that they need, but also with the funds that they have to have right now, or else they're going to go away. That's not a world that I want to live in. I am more than happy to help out my fellow man, but plain and simple, I can't dedicate 40 or 50 or 100 hours a week to some of these pressing needs that we have in our community. Guys, we've got to do this. We can do this. This is something that everybody is really doing on some level already. Buying and shopping online and getting rid of things, doing their spring cleaning, cleaning out their closets, and getting rid of things. The table is set. We just need people to sit down and understand what needs to be done. So I appreciate you listening. I look forward to some success stories coming out of this. And I am looking forward to meeting with some of these phenomenal nonprofits that have served our communities for years, so I can educate you on how to deploy this new initiative out to your staff to empower your donor base and let them know that, hey, maybe you don't have cash to give right now, but there is a new way that you can get involved. We can do better. And I've got a tool that's absolutely free for us to use. This is ready. This is not in any sort of concept mode. It's fully functional. We have been operating right here in Kansas City for the last year. Like I said, there's 19 participating charities, but we've got room for many, many, many more. We're going to take this thing nationwide eventually, but hey, we just need to focus on one thing and one thing only, and that is getting the word out about a new and better way to give with theripple.net. So I hope that I have struck a nerve and opened up some eyes and ears. Guys, it doesn't take much time to search and see that this is a very harsh reality that we can be facing here soon if we don't step up to the plate. So again, my name is Keith Custer. Please share this video with anybody who would be interested in sitting and talking with me so I can show them how we can use this to hopefully save some of these phenomenal organizations from having to part ways with our community.